Welcome to the 7th Annual Cox Communications Academic Challenge in partnership with the Escambia County School District and WSRE-TV. I'm Bill Willis, the moderator for tonight's match. Our judges this evening are Pete Clark, the business manager for Cox Communications, and Dr. Larry Reed, the fine arts specialist for the Escambia County School District. Our scorekeeper is Cindy Nixon, the educational coordinator for Cox Communication, and our timekeeper is Linda Thompson, the language arts specialist for the Escambia County School District. Competing this evening are Woodham High School, the defending champion from last year's tournament, and Escambia High School. And now we'll have the players from Woodham High School introduce themselves.
Michael Wuest, Johnny Hutchinson,
Carl Bunche,
Peter Botzenmayer.
And the coach for Woodham High School is Kathy Bain. Now we'll have the players from Escambia High School introduce themselves.
Marisa Ezell,
Rachel Mohan,
Joshua Harris,
Roxanne Sexton.
And the coaches for Escambia High School are Barbara Crook, Judy Gross, and with us this evening, Jeff Anderson. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages to get tonight's match underway.
For 10 years, the cable industry has been helping teachers teach through cable in the classroom. It's cable in the classroom. All the great things that cable can be in the classroom. It's free to schools, commercial-free, and it's educational. There's a great, big, wonderful world out there, and cable in the classroom brings it into the classroom. I wish they had it when I was a kid.
Cable in the Classroom is a public service of Cox Communications.
Where do you go to find adventure? I'm Pat Murphy-Stark, and there's a new adventure every month on Education Showcase, the program that previews cable's best educational resources for home and the classroom. Feature stories, program previews, interactive websites. It's got everything you need to take kids on a learning adventure. Watch Education Showcase, a public service from this cable system.
Welcome back. Well, teams, best of luck. Here's our first toss-up question of the match. For killing what individual is Shakespeare's Romeo? Woodham, Johnny.
Tybalt.
Tybalt is correct. Our first bonus is a visual bonus. If you'll direct your attention to the monitor, we have a work of art for you to see. And here is your first question. What is the title of this fresco?
The School of Athens.
That is correct. And your second question, what is the name of the artist?
Raphael.
That is also correct for 20 bonus points. Toss-up question. One of his would-be assassins planted a bomb under Woodham, Johnny.
Archduke Ferdinand.
That is incorrect, and I'll repeat the question. One of his would-be assassins planted a bomb under the floor of his dining room, but because a visiting foreign dignitary was late arriving for dinner, his life was spared. On another occasion, a group desiring to assassinate him made its attempt by blowing up the imperial train just outside Moscow. Yet he survived. Another group attempted to kill him by setting up a bogus cheese shop to tunnel under a street he would be traveling and set off a bomb. During his lifetime, there were 7 assassination attempts. Escambia, Rachel.
Rasputin,
That's incorrect. Our answer was Tsar Alexander II. Our next toss-up question. Of the 3 countries which border Honduras, which one comes first alphabetically? Woodham, Johnny.
Costa Rica.
Incorrect. Can you take it, Escambia? Escambia, Roxanne.
Belize,
Incorrect. El Salvador. Toss-up number 4. What college football team won the 2000 Woodham, Johnny?
Florida State University.
That is correct. And our next bonus is an audio bonus. Listen carefully to the musical excerpt. And here is your question. What is the title of this piece?
Air on the G string.
That is correct. And your second question, What is the name of the composer?
Johann Sebastian Bach.
That is also correct for 20 bonus points. Toss-up question. What is the pupal stage of a butterfly? Woodham, Johnny.
Larvae.
Incorrect. I'll repeat. What is the pupal stage of a butterfly called? Escambia, Rachel.
Chrysalis.
That is correct. And here is your team's bonus. Number 1. Bonfires have been the scenes of many events in history, with perhaps the most famous being Girolamo Savonarola's bonfires of the Vanities. In what Italian city were his famous bonfires used to destroy works of art and books and luxury items?
Rome.
Incorrect. Florence. Number 2. In November 1999, a horrific accident occurred at what university where several students were killed in the collapse of the timber being used to construct a 44-foot-high bonfire?
Texas A&M.
That is correct for 10 points. Toss-up question. During the presidency of Franklin Pierce, the United States acquired the Gadsden Purchase from what Woodham, Johnny?
France.
Incorrect. I'll repeat. During the presidency of Franklin Pierce, the United States acquired the Gadsden Purchase from what nation? Escambia, Rachel.
Mexico.
That is correct. And here is your team's bonus. Number 1. Smaller than a butte, these flat-top plateaus are common in dry regions of the western United States. Name them.
Mesa.
That is correct. The name for the central depression in a volcano comes from a Spanish word for basin. Name this geologic feature.
Caldera.
That is also correct for 20 bonus points. Toss-up question. The water carrier of Seville was painted by what Spanish Baroque artist? Woodham, Johnny.
Velasquez.
That is correct, and here is your team's bonus. Most hair follicles contain an oil gland called what?
Sebaceous gland.
Correct. What hormone acts in an opposite manner to insulin and is produced by the alpha cells of the islets of Langerhans?
Glucagon.
That is also correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. Which of Jupiter's satellites has volcanoes named Pilon Patera and Prometheus? Woodham, Johnny.
Io.
That is correct. Here is your team's bonus. This 1994 movie features Jim Carrey as a wimpy bank clerk who makes a discovery that turns him into a sizzling super dude who acts out his alter ego's fantasies. Name this movie, which also starred Cameron Diaz.
The Mask.
Correct. This 1994 movie featuring Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels is a self-proclaimed no-brainer about two idiot pals who drive across country to Aspen to return a briefcase which, unbeknownst to them, contains a fortune in ransom money. Name this movie, which also starred Lauren Holly.
Dumb and Dumber.
That is correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. This group, which has existed for 28 years, is best known for bringing top-notch medical treatment to victims on all sides of the most... Woodham, Johnny.
Amnesty International.
I'll repeat. This group, which has existed for 28 years, is best known for bringing top-notch medical treatment to victims on all sides of the most dangerous conflicts. Name this group, which was the recipient of the 1999 Nobel Peace Prize. Escambia, Rachel.
Red Cross.
Incorrect. Doctors Without Borders. Toss-up question. Addison's disease is caused by insufficient production of hormones by the cortex of what? Woodham, Johnny.
The adrenal gland.
That is correct. Here is your bonus. Name the 1819 decision by the U.S. Supreme Court, which was the first major case to be heard by the court relating to implied powers.
McCulloch versus Maryland.
That is correct. The implied powers recognized by the court in the case of McCulloch versus Maryland are based on what famous clause in Article 1 of the Constitution of the United States?
The Elastic Clause.
That is correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. The Strait of Otranto separates Albania from what country? Woodham, Johnny.
Italy.
That is correct. Here is your bonus. What former U.S. Senator from New Jersey is currently challenging Al Gore for the Democratic presidential nomination?
Bill Bradley.
Correct. What U.S. Senator from Arizona is currently challenging George W. Bush for the Republican presidential nomination?
John McCain.
That is also correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. In Norse mythology, Thor's chariot was drawn by Tangneost and Tangrisnir. What kind of animals? Woodham, Michael.
Horses.
Incorrect. I'll repeat. In Norse mythology, Thor's chariot was drawn by Tangneost and Tangrisnir. What kind of animals were they? Escambia, Rachel.
Oxen.
Incorrect. Goats. Toss-up question. What Claude Debussy orchestral piece was inspired by a work by his friend, the French symbolist Woodham, Johnny?
Prelude to the Afternoon of a Faun.
That is correct. Here is your bonus. To what biological order do butterflies belong?
Hymenoptera.
Incorrect. Lepidoptera. Number 2, to what biological order do termites belong? The answer is Isoptera. No points on this bonus set. Toss-up question. This novel symbolizes H.G. Wells' vision of the eventual result of unchecked capitalism, a neurasthenic upper class that would eventually be devoured by a proletariat driven to the Woodham, Johnny.
The Time Machine.
That is correct. Here is your bonus. Muhammad Ali first came to international attention in 1960 when he won the Olympic light heavyweight championship in what city? The answer is Rome. Number 2, who did Muhammad Ali defeat in 1964 to win his first heavyweight title?
Frazier.
Incorrect. Sonny Liston. No points on this bonus set. Toss-up question. What is the chemical formula for sulfur dioxide? Woodham, Johnny.
SO2.
That is correct. Here is your bonus. Which Civil War battle was known as Burnside's Slaughter Pen?
Fredericksburg.
Correct. Who was selected to replace Ambrose Burnside to command the Union Army after the disastrous defeat at Fredericksburg?
Grant.
Incorrect. Joseph Hooker. 10 points on this bonus set. Toss-up. Well, we've reached the half. We'll be right back after these messages to give you the official halftime score.
I'm going to let you in on a fact here. Studies prove an arts education makes a sharper mind and a smarter student. So if I ever decide not to be an actress, I'll be able to take on anything I put my mind to. Science, math, music, and I'll blame it all on the arts. Find out more. Call Start Smart, a national campaign dedicated to getting the arts back in education.
For 10 years, the cable industry has been helping teachers teach through cable in the classroom. That's cable in the classroom. All the great things that cable can be in the classroom. It's free to schools, commercial free, and it's educational. There's a great, big, wonderful world out there, and cable in the classroom brings it into the classroom. I wish they had it when I was a kid.
Cable in the Classroom is a public service of Cox Communications.
Welcome back. The official halftime score, Woodham 220, Escambia 50. Woodham has made substitutions. We'll have them introduce themselves.
Song Tran.
Grant Hutchinson.
Welcome, gentlemen. And now it's on to the first toss-up of the second half. What number system consists of the ratios of Woodham, Johnny?
The rational numbers.
That is correct. And here is your bonus. It is a visual. Please direct your attention to the monitor. And here is your first question. What is the title of this work?
The Annunciation.
That is correct. And who is the artist?
Botticelli.
Incorrect. The answer is Fra Angelico. You've answered 10 points on the bonus. Toss-up question. Name the constriction where duplicate chromatids are held together. Woodham, Johnny.
The centromere.
That is correct. We have an audio bonus for you. Listen carefully. Okay, and here is your first bonus question. From what larger musical work does this excerpt come?
The Peer Gynt Suite.
That is correct. And number 2, who was the composer?
Grieg.
That is also correct for 20 bonus points. Toss-up question. Who was the Roman goddess of flowers? Woodham, Johnny.
Flora.
That is correct. Here is your bonus. What Austrian composed the Jupiter Symphony?
Mozart.
Correct. What Russian composed the Pathetique Symphony?
Tchaikovsky.
That is correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. Palco versus Connecticut, 1970. Schmerber versus California, 1966. And Miranda versus Arizona, 1966. Are decisions of the United States Supreme Court based on the court's interpretation? Woodham, Johnny.
The Fifth Amendment.
That is correct. Here is your first bonus question. The emperor of what country reigns on the chrysanthemum throne?
Japan.
Correct. Name the current occupant of the chrysanthemum throne.
Akihito.
That is also correct for 20 bonus points. Toss-up. Which king of Israel was beheaded by the Philistines? Woodham, Johnny.
Herod.
Incorrect. I'll repeat. Which king of Israel was beheaded by the Philistines, and whose body, along with those of his sons, was nailed to the walls of the temple of Ashtaroth? Escambia, Rachel.
David.
Incorrect. Saul. Toss-up question. What is the name of the structure used to eliminate excess water? Woodham, Johnny.
Flame cells.
That is correct. Here is your bonus. All vertebrates have a variety of systems, such as the skeletal or muscular system. For 10 points each, identify these systems in vertebrates from their description. Number 1, closed system of blood vessels with 2, 3, or 4-chambered heart.
Circulatory system.
Correct. Tube extending from the mouth to the anus with associated organs.
Digestive system.
That is also correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. He was the star of the Texaco Star Theater from Woodham, Johnny.
Milton Berle.
That is correct. Here is your team's bonus. In which Tennessee Williams play would you find the character Amanda Wingfield?
The Glass Menagerie.
Correct. In which Tennessee Williams play would you find the character Blanche Dubois?
Streetcar Named Desire.
Also correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. How many chemical elements make up the actinide elements? Woodham, Johnny.
14.
Incorrect. Escambia, Rachel.
20.
Incorrect. 15. Toss-up. In the territory of what modern nation was the World War II Battle of El Ala? Woodham, Michael.
Egypt.
That is correct. And here's your team's bonus. What leader of the Reformation penned the work on the Babylonian captivity of the church?
Martin Luther.
Correct. Who rebutted Luther's assertions on the Babylonian captivity of the church in his work Assertio Septem Sacramentorum?
King Henry VIII.
That is correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. Iceland spar is a form of the mineral with a hardness of 3. Name it. Woodham, Johnny.
Fluorite.
Incorrect. Escambia, Rachel.
Quartz.
Incorrect. Calcite. Toss-up question. What is the name of the star cluster about 415 light years away in the constellation Taurus, a cluster that is sometimes called the Seven Sisters? Escambia, Rachel.
Pleiades.
That is correct. And here is your team's bonus. The diatomic molecule of what element makes up 78% of air?
Nitrogen.
Correct. What is the most common isotope of carbon?
Carbon 316.
Incorrect. Carbon-12. You've answered one correctly for 10 points. Toss-up question. The United States Geological Survey is an agency. Woodham, Johnny.
The Department of the Interior.
That is correct. And here is your team's bonus. What is the hardest and most pure form of coal?
Anthracite.
Correct. Cereosite, anglesite, and galena are the chief mineral ores of which element?
Lead.
That is also correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. What glandular organ secretes enzymes and hormones and is essential to the digestive? Woodham, Johnny?
The pancreas.
That is correct. Here is your bonus. In January 2000, Israeli and Syrian officials had been conducting peace talks at Shepherdstown in what state?
West Virginia.
Correct. Who is the Israeli prime minister who has been involved in those peace talks?
Ehud Barak.
That is also correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. On a weather map, what are lines connecting areas of equal temperature? Woodham, Johnny?
Isotherms.
That is correct. Here is your bonus. Name the Georgian author of Gone with the Wind.
Mitchell.
Correct. Name the Georgian author of Member of the Wedding.
McCullers.
That is also correct for 20 points. Arturo Toscanini said she had a voice that comes once in 100 years. Eleanor Roosevelt arranged for Woodham, Johnny?
Marian Anderson.
That is correct. Here is your bonus. Who was the chief terrorist of the Reign of Terror in France?
Robespierre.
Correct. What key figure of the Reign of Terror was murdered in his bathtub by Charlotte Corday?
Marat.
That is also correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. The likeness of what president of the United States is on the medal known as the Purple Heart? Woodham, Johnny?
Washington.
That is correct. Here's your bonus. Whose presidential administration in American history is most associated with the expression New Freedom?
Kennedy.
Incorrect. Woodrow Wilson. Whose presidential administration in American history is most associated with the expression rugged individualism?
Hoover.
That is correct for 10 points. Toss-up question. This Moira of Greek mythology was responsible for spinning the Woodham, Johnny?
Clotho.
That is correct. Here is your bonus. In 1922, the Syndicate of Technical Workers, Painters, and Sculpture was formed in Mexico. The syndicate tried to do away with European styles and replace them with truly Mexican art. Who is the most famous artist of the group who is noted for his murals, such as the historical murals of the President's Palace in Mexico City?
Rivera.
Correct. Name the wife of Diego Rivera, who was a famous artist in her own right, who is most noted for her many self-portraits.
Kahlo.
That is also correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. The name means having many holes. What is the name of the phylum that contains the sponge? Woodham, Johnny?
Porifera.
That is correct. Here is your bonus. Who in Greek mythology provided a public transport service for the newly dead?
Charon.
Correct. What is the name of the three-headed dog which guarded the entrance to Hades?
Cerberus.
Correct. Toss-up question. An extinct volcano, it is 6,959 meters high. The first ascent to its summit was made in 1897. Name this highest peak of the Andes and of the Escambia. Josh?
Lost it. Never mind. Sorry.
I'll repeat. An extinct volcano, it is 6,959 meters high. The first ascent to its summit was made in 1897. Name this highest peak of the Andes and of the Western Hemisphere. Woodham, Michael?
Aconcagua.
That is correct, and here is your team's bonus. Number 1, what was the birth name of Muhammad Ali?
Cassius Clay.
Correct. What was the birth name of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? The answer is Lou Alcindor. Toss-up question. Okay, we have reached the end of the match. We'll be right back after these messages with the final score.
For 10 years, the cable industry has been helping teachers teach through cable in the classroom. It's cable in the classroom. All the great things that cable can be in the classroom. It's free to schools, commercial free, and it's educational. There's a great, big, wonderful world out there, and cable in the classroom brings it into the classroom. I wish they had it when I was a kid.
Cable in the Classroom is a public service of Cox Communications.
Where do you go to find adventure? I'm Pat Murphy-Stark, and there's a new adventure every month on Education Showcase, the program that previews cable's best educational resources for home and the classroom. Feature stories, program previews, interactive websites. It's got everything you need to take kids on a learning adventure. Watch Education Showcase, a public service from this cable system.
Welcome back. The score is official. Woodham 640, Escambia 70. Congratulations to Woodham High School. Both teams will be back in the future to compete again. We hope you'll catch those matches. Thank you and good evening.